Research design is something that gets ignored a lot in library research. There are always two major questions to be answered in the research process. The first, so what, we have partially addressed in discussing statistical significance, and later on in the course I'll talk about historical significance. The other question is, compared to what? And therein lies the heart of research design. A single data point doesn't tell us much. At the very least, there has to be one other data point for comparative purposes. One of the reasons that the move towards using output measures as an evaluative tool for public libraries more or less failed was that there was no comparison involved. We could spend a lot of time arguing that for most output measures, comparison was irrelevant, but that's a whole different course. The result has been a return for public libraries to standards, objectively quantifiable measures against which to compare our data, a thought which we'll explore at some length in the next 3 weeks. But first, research design, as we shall see, involves little X's and O's, not unlike those employed by football and basketball coaches. The article I have you reading, Campbell and Stanley, is the most articulate and widely used statement on research design. Having a design forces the researcher to answer the question, compared to what, before starting to collect data or evidence. Having a framework upon which to hang the work makes the research process a good deal easier and more orderly than simply flailing around in a mass of data wondering what the heck is going on. Campbell and Stanley have a nicely laid out continuum of research designs, from the very simple one-shot case studies to fairly complex approaches. And I chopped the reading off at that point because I think things were getting way more complicated than they needed to be, at least for this course. So, on to the textual part of this week's material. Look at the little X's and O's and see if you can discover those patterns in the research literature.